Okay, welcome. This is event 4 of the 9 to 5 Escape the 9 to 5 Grind 13 event series. We're in event 4, as I said, and today we're looking at goal setting. So my question for you to think about, whilst I just go live, is what do you feel the difference is between goals and ambitions? And how do you feel about them? Okay, I know how I feel about goals and ambitions. They're really rather different, but we tend to lump them together. So if you've got any ideas about that, please drop them into the chat, and I'll keep my eye on the chat and see if we've got any pearls of wisdom here, and everybody can say hello to each other. So I'm going to go live now. Here we go. Live stream. Okay, just recording to be viewed later. Okay, I'm just settling into YouTube. Just give me one moment. Very slow. Let's think about that question. What is the difference between goals and ambitions? And if you've got any wisdom there, and there we are. I'm going live now. Okay. Start right now. Okay. Okay. So let me come back to you. Have we got any wisdom in the chat? No. Okay. So let's get started. So first of all, then, I need to just talk a little bit about business. And if you're not used to Zoom, then may I draw your attention to the bottom of your screen, where you will find the possibility of raising your hand like I'm doing it, and lowering it, and you can even play a chime when you raise your hand, apparently now, that's new. And there are also reactions there. You see to the left, the heart shape. So you can cry if you're not enjoying yourself, or you can put your thumb up or celebrate, whatever you fancy, okay? But yeah, please go ahead and express these things. I love to see how people are feeling about my sessions. And then you can come back. So that might be good for you, Angus. Okay, so let's get started then. So JJ is saying goals versus ambitions. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what he's saying. Just a moment. Oh dear, I've got so many things open on here. I can't open the chat. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Okay. So JJ is saying, goals or ambitions? I believe goals can be measured and written. Ambitions are ideas before you set concrete plans. That's nice. Yes, I agree. You're very close there, JJ. So yeah, as we go through my presentation and so on, please freely write down what you would like to add, and I'll keep my eye on the chat to see what's happening. Okay, so I also, apart from telling you about Zoom, I need to also tell you that these events are set up so that you can self-register. So if you find the link on any of my posts, you can click on that link and you are immediately registered. And I really recommend you do that, because there's a playback. As you see, I've just set up the live playback and more information, which we will send to you afterwards if you can't attend. Of course, I'm very, very much happier if you attend. It's so lovely to have people to talk to. Oh, we've got John Smith appearing now too. Welcome, John. Thank you. This is great. Super. Welcome. I'll give you time to connect up. I'm sure you can hear me, but we can't hear you yet. And so please mute yourself if you're not muted. That's the other little thing to think about. So yeah, if you can't attend, but you like the sound of what I'm doing, please register, and you won't get a black mark if you don't attend. You instead will get a very wonderful email with the playback link for YouTube, and also more information so we can keep you posted on how things went and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. I think John Smith is okay here. Oh, sorry, I joined it. That's okay, John. That's fine. We've only just really got started with Zoom rules, and I'm sure you know about those. So let's move on to the next thing. I'm just sharing my screen here. I'd like to take this moment to just, if I can possibly dig it out, just get my flipbook. Right, now, I've made this flipbook, which as you can see is a startup guide and a resource catalogue. Now, there are many things on offer with the 13 events. And so I've put them all into this flipbook, which makes a lovely noise when you flip it around. And you will get this automatically in your follow-up mail. And if you want it before then, please put a message in the chat, and Natasha, my assistant, will give you the link for it. But if I can just take a moment to go through this, and then we'll get on to event 4, which is about goal setting, as you know. So yeah, no time to really introduce myself today. I've done it a few times, but you can read about me here in the flipbook. Table of contents, an overview of the guide, and then you can hear about my journey from second-hand life to first-hand life. And you can see that this is what I feel right now. Now it's my time, and I am unswervingly devoted to my creativity, my thoughts, and my values. So I'm having a wonderful time doing all the things I could never do when I was in full-time employment in the 9-to-5 grind. And so you can read at your leisure in the startup guide about me and my ideas and my background. And then if you come here, you'll find how the whole thing works. There are events, 13 events each week on a Wednesday. There are also 2 workshops on a Monday and a Friday. Now, these are to accommodate different time zones because so many people on the East Coast of America, Canada, Australia, and so on have said they can't attend and they want to attend live. So we've created these workshops. And if you click the links, these links in this flipbook are live, and you can actually go and sign in to the workbook. Sorry, to the workshop. And here you can see the 13 events. I hope you can see it. Let's see if we can make it a bit bigger. Yeah, so you can see we're on event 4, traveling hopefully, and we go through many other aspects of walking into the limelight of your first-hand life as a netpreneur, making an income from the internet, and changing your mindset to be able to do that. So there are 13 events which go through all those changes, and they're all listed here for you to see. And then the natural outcome of the 13 events is that you will do some financial mastery training with my mentor, Michael Cheney, who is a multimillionaire, brilliant teacher and mentor for marketing. He's taught me everything I know, frankly. And so if you do his training at the end of my training, then you may well be invited to become his apprentice, like I was, which is a huge honor and fascinating journey. And you can join the Millionaire's Apprentice School, which I'll talk about in a moment. So this is what we hope the outcome of these 13 events will be. Also, I've created a live e-workbook. Now, this is really unusual because it's live. It's a live document. And I add to it every week. So I add videos, I add things that come up in meetings, and I'm constantly growing the knowledge base of Escape the 9-to-5 Grind in an interactive work. You can also self-reflect in this work. There are work pages. This I'm asking you to buy. It's $9.95, but it's a constantly growing document. So many people have said it's well worth paying that. Also, I should mention also the live ebook follows the events. It doesn't have chapters, it has events. So you can keep up with the events, even if you can't attend. You can check the videos, you can check extra materials, audios, inspirational things. It's really a resource, a marvelous resource, I think. Moving on, I've also created Your First Digital Venture, launching a website from scratch in 6 steps. So, you know, if you want to be a netpreneur, you need your own real estate on the web. And to do that, you need a website, as you may already know. So I can show you how to do that if you haven't done it already in 6 steps. So this is a blended learning course. It's free. You can access it here. So all the blue links work. So if you want to go ahead and look at that, you can do that from the startup guide. And here are the different steps that you'll take in the training. Okay, so by the end of 6 steps, we together will launch your very own website on the best possible platform I know. At that stage, it will be free, but I will encourage you to join a slightly higher tier to get better value. So that's the launching your own website. A little bit about the workshops here. They are designed to accompany the events, but they will be smaller groups of people, and people can interact and we can discuss and so on. And there won't be a presentation as there is in the events, which I'll be doing in a moment. Also, if you don't know where to start, I offer one-to-one coaching. I also offer a free 30-minute consultation. And in fact, you can check my Calendly link and book yourself in if you'd like to talk to me about all this. And I can offer you my guidance on that. I'll show you the link in a moment. Yes, here's a little bit more information about the financial mastery part of the scheme, which Michael Cheney himself will deliver. You can see these 5 videos are worth their weight in gold, and they will give you all the financial knowledge and confidence you need. So as I said before, the 10th thing in this book is to be invited to join Michael Cheney as his apprentice. And these are some of the benefits that you will get if you join us and you join school. It's a wonderful community, so supportive. This is a little view of what school looks like. You can actually communicate with Michael Cheney most days. He will comment on posts. And you can see here we have a leaderboard, and I'm number 2. And in fact, number 1 is also present. JJ Abner is here. So we are the top students, and so is Angus. Yes, I'm sorry, Angus is the 3rd. So we've got 2 of the Millionaire School apprentices here. as living proof to the fact that we are all having a fabulous time training to be millionaires. And then finally, here's a summary, an executive summary of the whole thing, and what you do next. A little message from me. Here are my contact details. As I mentioned, you can book in for 30 minutes with me on Calendly to discuss what to do next. You can email me anytime, and you can join my First Hand Life website, which is devoted to the Escape the 9-to-5 Grind. And these are all clickable links, so you can just click and go straight to them. Now, I'd like to mention that in my First Hand Life, since I stepped into the limelight of marketing training and becoming a trainee millionaire, I've created 4 websites from scratch. And you may like to look at these. If you click on each of the icons here, you'll be able to go directly to the site. Jambala Wealth is all about spiritual methods of attracting wealth. I'm a Buddhist priest, actually. And so I've built a site which is devoted to the spirituality of wealth. So you may like to look at that. This is Millionaire Mindset Roadmap. This is more psychological, but it's all about making changes and heading towards your millionaire goal. This is First Hand Life, which is devoted to Escape the 9-to-5 Grind series, which is all about starting out and creating things. And then finally, Flourish Right Consult is devoted to digital nomads and remote workers. I'm a digital nomad, actually, living in Japan, but I was born in Britain, and I've lived all over the world as a digital nomad. So many of us are remote workers. This site, it really supports remote workers. Just the final page here, my motto: diversity, equity, inclusion. These things are very important to me. So this is why I do what I do. So that's, that startup guide will provide all the information you need. You will get it in an email after this session is over. Let me just check the chat, see if we've got any pearls of wisdom. We've got, oh yes, Natasha, thank you. She's put the Flipbook link in the chat. Great. No pearls of wisdom yet. I'm sure they will come soon. Okay, of course, there's lots more to say, but I'd like to get on now with event 4. So again, I will share my screen just for another 10 minutes or so to present my ideas to you. Let me just arrange things here and get moving. Okay, just a moment. Oops. Sorry, my internet signal's a bit jumpy today. We have lots of storms here this week. Big, really scary storms with lots of trees down in the area. So it's been quite a week. Okay, let's get started with my presentation. I hope. Okay, here we go. So this whole thing is called Escape the 9-to-5 Grind. And event 4 is traveling hopefully, never to arrive, destination unknown. Now, don't worry about taking notes or anything. It's not really a lesson. I'm sharing my ideas and showing you how I coach and how I would work with you if you worked with me one-to-one. And of course, this will be recorded in the playback, so you'll be able to see the slides there if you need more reference. So what's the difference between goals and ambitions? I gave you this question at the start. Yeah, it's an interesting question. Goals are, as JJ commented, they're kind of plans and they're usually written or maybe spoken, and they imply achieving something, working to implement them. Okay, and Escape the 9-to-5 Grind really wants to get away from this idea of work. We are conditioned to think we have to work really hard to get everything that we want. It's not strictly true. If we look at ambitions, they are more general and they're about desire and a little bit more about aspiration. They're, if you like, they're more vague and maybe you could say more spiritual. If I move on a little bit further, I'd like to talk about time in this respect, because time is a concept. And as a Buddhist, we learn how to go beyond time. Everybody can go beyond this concept. It's an intellectual concept. It's linear time. This is the way it's been designed. This creates the necessity for goals, which are along the timeline. But if you ever have the chance to work with Indigenous peoples, First Nations, as I have, I spent a long time living with some Aboriginals in the South Australian desert. They don't believe in time as linear at all. They see it as a circle. Everything is circular to the ancient mind. So time is circular. Maybe this is an idea you can play with. And certainly in meditations and mindful practices, I work on this idea of the circle of time. So you can move around the circle of time much more freely and in a relaxed way than you move along the line of time, achieving, jumping, getting to the end game, if you like. So working with time as a circular concept is much more relaxing. I do it all the time. And I can teach you how to do that. Let's move on to the next point. So really goals, if we call them that, are a picture that we make, that we paint with our hearts and our minds. And this is one of the problems with goal setting in a Western style. It's too objective, it's too separate from the spirit, the human spirit. There's nothing mundane about goals that of the type I'm talking about. And so basically, just 1 minute. Oh, yeah, good. Goals concern our will to live, our purpose. Oh dear, I've got a jumpy mouse. And our intent. Now you will agree, these are much more meaningful words. I'd like to think we can change our vocabulary, we can change our inner script to work in a different way, to transform our minds. So yes, as I mentioned, there's nothing at all mundane about goals. The Western ways of setting them tends to make them rather mundane. Remember that humans are master creators by nature. We are all, every single human has the potential to create. And unfortunately, many of us have opted for the 9-to-5 grind because we want security, we want to have a good life-work balance and so on. Yes, I really understand that. But once you get out of that mindset and you take the leap, you really start to fly and become creative in an extraordinary way. And most people anthropologists and so on agree that really we've only realized 10% of our potential, most of us. And this is really because we abdicate responsibility to a certain type of lifestyle. So I'm advocating something rather different, which I'm revealing during these events. And so, yeah, basically, we've got visualization, which is a really common word nowadays. And this is what I teach. I don't teach goal setting, really. I coach visualization. So what is visualization compared with goal setting? Well, as JJ mentioned at the beginning, goals are usually two-dimensional. We've got a chart, or we've got a written list, usually, okay. Whereas visualizations are 3+ dimensional. You can add sound, you can add affirmations, movement, animation, smells. In my visualizations, I've got a very keen sense of smell. So I like to add a sense of smell. And visualizations really show a commitment and courage to pursue the extraordinary rather than the ordinary. Here's a definition of goal setting, which I think is really enlightened. Goal setting is the art of envisioning a future that captivates your spirit and motivates your actions. It's the process of turning your dreams into tangible milestones, each step a testament to your commitment and courage to pursue the extraordinary. Okay, now there are a few words here I'd like you to remember. Envisioning, captivates. Okay, these are very powerful words. Of course, motivation is quite a fashionable word nowadays. Milestone. These are very tangible. If you think of a milestone on a track or a road. And the extraordinary. So with the Escape the 9-to-5 Grind, not only will you learn practical things that you need to navigate into the world of the internet as a netpreneur, first life liver, but also you'll learn lots of other skills to enhance your life, to lead you to happiness. So just to finish up with this brief presentation, have a look at this quotation. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Now, these words were said nearly 3,000 years ago by my hero, the Buddha, one of my heroes. This is an ancient view of how we can live in a truly happy and enlightened way. Every thought you have becomes something in your life. Every feeling you have attracts something to you. For example, fear. If you feel fear, it will attract negative things into your life. The law of attraction. It's a natural law which has always existed. And if you imagine something, Albert Einstein said that the imagination is the greatest skill that human beings have. Animals don't have it. We have it for special reasons. So what you imagine, you create. So with your thoughts and your feelings and your imagination, you can achieve incredible things that come uniquely from you. Nobody else, from you. Another wonderful quotation is the key to powerful and effective visualization is to break all the clay pots of separation, so that everything merges into a harmonious cosmic symphony of manifestation. This is a wonderful idea, breaking the clay pots. Nobody knows who said this, but I think it's wonderful. I think it's an Indian philosopher. And finally, humans are like spiders spinning the web of their lives to crawl along. Again, this comes from ancient Indian philosophy, the Upanishads, ancient texts that see our ability to manifest, create things from our own minds. Okay, now that's just the running order. Oh, I just want to, sorry, just get rid of that. Oh, okay, I lost my end quote, which is brilliant. Just 1 second, let me go back. Oh, can't get rid of this. So I'll just close it. Oh, don't know what happened there. Oh dear. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. But, oh, there we are. Oh, yeah, okay. It disappeared. So I'll just refresh that and show you the closing finale. You are the supreme ruler of your mind. We're led to believe we're not, that other people control our minds. And to a large extent, they do, because we're very vulnerable to social voices and indoctrination and conditioning and so on. But really, you are the supreme ruler of your mind, and stepping into your first-hand life means that you make the decision to become that supreme ruler that you are always meant to be. And your mind really is your universe. Okay, so I'm going to come back to you. We don't have so much time left. I've thrown a lot of quite high-flying things at you there, and I hope that you will go back and watch the presentation again. And I'd be very pleased to receive any questions you may have at this point. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. If you can't, oh yes, we've got something from Nigel here saying thanks for the flip book. So far it has been amazing, and I think I will love the one on coaching. Okay, good. And John says, what you feel you attract, I agree with that. This is worth more than gold. Amazing. Wow, thank you. That's super. Those are super comments. Thank you so much. So, have you got any questions? We've got a little time left before we have to stop. Are there any questions? No. Okay, good. Well, maybe my presentation was too good. Let me just take then the last few minutes to show you the workbook I mentioned, if I can. Just 1 minute. Just 1 second. I'm getting a lot of stuff, strange stuff going on here. Sorry, I am in Japan, if you didn't realize that. And I'm afraid we have a lot of static around today, and we've had a lot of storms. So I'm really amazed that this has gone ahead, actually, this event. Let me just see if I can open up the workbook that I mentioned. It's coming, it's a bit slow, so I can show you how you can keep abreast of everything. And actually, several people have purchased this and tell me they think it's amazing. If I can open it. Come along. Oh, there we are. Good, 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 good. Okay. Just to finish off with it, I'll just briefly take you on a tour. So this is the live workbook. So this means that it's an ongoing organic document, which I'm adding to all the time. So when I've held an event, I go in and I add videos and maybe comments. You can find more about me here, the table of contents. And it's a marvelous thing because all you need is a link. And the link is constantly live. It automatically updates when I add something. So all you have to do is sign in, and you will be able to find out what's going on. So I've broken it down into the events, and I give you affirmations to use, breathing exercises, self-reflection. So you can actually type in here. You can actually reflect if you want to make notes. And I put the videos in here, which I think the internet's too weak to show you at the moment. But yes, the full video of each event is in here. You can reflect on the videos. I try to inspire you with amazing books and so on. And then I move on to the next event. So each event has many facets, which will keep you going between events. And it's a tremendous record of everything that is happening in these events. So I'm looking forward to the next cycle, because these events will go on forever, well, as long as I last, because I'm very committed to helping people to escape the 9-to-5 grind. So yes, please avail yourself of any of these things. Everything is in the flip book, and the links are live. And if you have any problems with that, please let us know. But yes, I tested it before today's session, and it was going really well. Okay, so Angus has added a comment. Thank you, Angus. The value of the workbook being live is unique, as not seen before or ever being offered. So cheers to you, Lyndon. Thank you, Angus. That is indeed praise. Yes, well, I have to say that I was very surprised that I could make this. I asked a question on the net. I said, is there any such thing as a live book? And to my amazement, Designer.io, which is the platform I use, which is marvelous. And if you want to know more about Designer, let me know. Said, oh yes, we have live links and books, no problem. Designer is certainly the most advanced ebook, e-publication creator now. So yeah, let me know if you need to know more about that. And in fact, I've written some articles about it, so I can easily send you an article if you let us know. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you've got some new inspiration about goal setting. I've talked with many people, especially corporate people, who say they are so bored with setting goals. And they're so, they get so disappointed if they don't meet the goals. Well, of course, there is no mindfulness in this kind of Western logical goal setting. It's very crude. If you blend your personal life with your work life, as we can do as netpreneurs, because we work for ourselves and we work when we want to and as we want to, then you can live your work. I don't call it work anymore. I've abolished that word. I call it creating. So I don't say, oh, I've got to go and work now. I say, oh, I'm going to go and do some creating now. So it's a question of changing the vocabulary, which will change your mindset eventually. And that is NLP, which I'm also fully qualified in, by the way. So I like to do a lot of script changing and help people to change their mind by changing their script, which takes time. But I can help you with that as a coach. So please let me know if you want to know more about that. Phil is saying, or John is saying again, I really enjoyed the way you crafted all this, and it was really interesting and informative. Thank you so much, John. That's great. And Phil says, thank you. I'm glad I made this session. It was worth every second. I'm transformed with the way I think and see things now. Wow. Gosh, you're a quick learner. That's great. Phil, I'm so glad. Please come back next week and tell us about those changes. We'll have a chance to discuss that maybe next week. Oh, and by the way, next week's event is, I'll just do a little promotion. It's called An Hourly Rate, a Paycheck. Is this the right price for the passion and purpose of your life? So next week, I'm going to get down to the nitty-gritty of how wrong I think the traditional work system is, and how nobody that I have ever met is worth an hourly rate. So, you know, if you want to know more about how to change that idea, and I'm hoping with this campaign, ongoing campaign, we can get enough support to change it for many, many people who need to change their lives. They're mentally unbalanced. They're the working poor, especially in Japan. They do 10 jobs and can't pay their bills because the rate of pay is so low, the hourly rate of pay is so low. I really am revolutionary about this, and I'm working with other organizations to bring this campaign to light. And I'm hoping that the New York Times will soon publish an article about this, because people in the States are really struggling with healthcare and with job losses and so on. And so, yeah, hopefully if we get more publicity, we'll be able to get even bigger on this campaign. So it's time to stop. I'm a little over time, forgive me. And you've got busy lives to lead. It's been so nice to have you all here. I'm going to stop the recording. Yeah, let me just stop the recording. This is the end of event 4. Thank you for so much.